There is a place just beyond what we know, where time forgets its name, where shadows speak, and truth wears 1,000 faces. It is not the future, it is not the past. It is a doorway hidden in the spaces between thoughts, dreams, and regrets. Each soul will find it differently through a choice, a lie, a chance not taken. Step carefully, because once you cross the line, you may not return the same. Welcome to the threshold. The old radio crackled, a warm, inviting sound that usually filled Leo Maxwell's small studio at WCKT, the cricket. He liked the imperfections, the gentle hiss beneath the music, the tangible connection to a time when sound wasn't so clean, so sterile. Tonight, though, the crackle was different. Agitated, like a restless spirit. They say silence is golden, a voice murmured, not from the radio, but from somewhere just behind Leo's left ear. It was a voice both familiar and utterly alien, dry and knowing. Leo Maxwell disagreed. For Leo, silence was the enemy. A vast, empty auditorium waiting to be filled. Night after night, from this lonely city, from this lonely booth, he spun gold, not from silence, but from saxophones and sorrow, broadcasting solace into the sleeping city. He curated echoes of the past, unaware that soon the past and perhaps the future would begin curating him. Leo shivered, not from cold, but from a prickling unease. He told himself it was the storm, the old station. Perched precariously on a hill overlooking the town, was always vulnerable to the whims of the weather. Tonight, the wind howled like a banshee, and the rain lashed against the windows, blurring the lights of the town below. He was a man in his late 40s, a creature of habit and quiet melancholy. Divorced, he lived alone, his life a comfortable, predictable loop of records, broadcasts, and the comforting weight of solitude. His voice, deep and resonant, was his only real claim to fame, a voice that soothed insomniacs and lonely hearts with a nightly serenade of forgotten jazz. But lately, even that small comfort felt fragile. WCKT, the cricket, was struggling. Rumors of automation, of replacing Leo with a pre-programmed playlist, hung in the air like a damp shroud. His world, so carefully constructed, felt like it was crumbling around him. The storm intensified. Lightning flashed, and a particularly violent strike seemed to hit the old radio tower. The studio lights flickered, the equipment sputtered, and a high-pitched whine filled the air. Leo winced, reaching for the power switch. But then, as quickly as it began, the surge subsided. The lights stabilized. The equipment hummed again, but something was different. The main tuning dial, usually precise, now drifted with an almost liquid fluidity. It slid past the marked frequencies, settling in the spaces between them. And in those spaces, instead of static, Leo heard voices. At first, he dismissed it as interference, some strange atmospheric phenomenon. But the voices became clearer, more distinct. They sounded familiar. One night, the dial snagged between 98.1 and 98.3 FM. A voice, startlingly like his own, filled the studio, but it was younger, happier, brimming with an energy Leo hadn't felt in decades. And then Sarah laughed, and little Emily spilled her juice all over my shirt, but it didn't even matter. Best family trip ever, the voice went on, describing a sunny afternoon, a picnic in a park, children's laughter. He mentioned a wife, his ex-wife's name, and children Leo didn't have. The music in the background wasn't the melancholic jazz Leo favored. It was upbeat, folk rock, the kind he used to play in a band long ago, before he settled into the quiet solitude of the radio booth. Leo stared at the radio, his heart pounding. It couldn't be. It was impossible. Yet the voice.